Basketball, you were such a vital person in urging people to vote and everything. Could you give your impressions on today's inauguration and the historic swearing in of also of Kamala Harris?
Yeah, it was awesome for a lot of reasons, Mark. Obviously, being involved on that side, and seeing the people that you want to go in office. But Kamala is not only, just the first, brown, I would say, more female and female vice president. I've known her for a good 8-9 years. And so personally, it was very emotional, just really a neat day for me and for just a lot of people. It was a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Next up is David Murphy.
Hey Doc, it's a weird season, so I don't know if this question will make sense or kind of how you're approaching it. But how do you kind of look at this last week or however long it's been without Seth and kind of the whole gang? And I mean, once he gets back out there, whatever it's going to be Friday, do you kind of feel like you're going to be resuming your season and getting back to like learning about this team and helping it grow together, at least as far as the guys who you're bringing to the dance are concerned?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough, David, because, it's not just been Seth. It's, when you think about it, it's been Ferg and
Right.
Seth for the longest time. And then, we had the whole COVID thing with other people that couldn't play. Tobias missed a bunch of games, not having Shake out there. We had a lot of offense off the floor, let's put it that way. And a lot of the key guys off the floor. So, we just tried to piece a team together and see if we can scratch out some wins, just to be honest. And once we get everybody back, we can resume work. This is not a team that's been together. So we just need to resume work together to start growing.
Like Brett used to talk about how he judges the season and he breaks it into thirds, kind of like pre-Christmas, whatever, post All-Star. I forget what his lines of demarcation were, but kind of in this season, when do you think you're going to know, what your team is and kind of where it's going and what's your timetable, or are you just kind of like grinding it out day by day?
Yeah, I don't think anyone can have a timetable. Anyone that tells you they can, they're just smarter than me. I think every team has their own time when they come together. Some come together right away and then keep growing. I just look at the season as growth. You got to keep growing and getting better. And then hopefully by the time the playoffs start, you're at your peak. That's what you want to try to do.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks.
Take 3 more questions, starting with Keith Pompey.
When you look at a guy like Isaiah Joe, I mean, he got the opportunity and he basically took advantage of it. Is he someone that you can see being more in your rotation once everyone gets back?
It's going to be tough, but yeah, I mean, he's a guy that can make shots, but so can Shake, so can Furkan, so can Danny Green, so can Seth Curry, so he's just in a line of guys that we have. It's a great luxury. It's a great luxury to have a guy that can come off the bench and make shots, so clearly, and what else? I thought he showed himself to be a pretty solid defender as well, which will help moving forward.
I know you talked about Kamala saying you've known her for 8 years, and I'm assuming you have a relationship with Joe Biden as well.
Yeah.
They've been elected, or since they were going to be elected. Have you reached out to them? Have you had a conversation with those two?
I have. I haven't talked to the president. Just phenomenal to say, but I have talked to the vice president and text a couple of times as well. So I got a feeling starting today, my text may not go through anymore because I know they changed phones as of today. I think is the way they do it. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, we have had talks for sure.
That's still good to be in the know, though.
Yeah, hopefully I can use it.
Okay. Take 2 more, Gary Washburn and Jackson Frank. Go ahead, Gary.
Hey, Doc, would you consider yourself kind of the father of the modern day big three? I mean, you put the big three, helped put the big three together 12, almost 13 years ago now, and now there's a new one in Brooklyn. And You guys might have one in Philadelphia if you had Tobias. I mean, how important is that formula to winning, to having three guys that you can rely on?
You know, I think it's important, Gary. And first of all, I would call Danny the father since he's the oldest. You know, I could be the stepfather or whatever you want to call it. But I really, you know, obviously we had the right three. I mean, Ray, Paul, and Kevin were just, they were not only just phenomenal players, it was their time. They were ready to win and they wanted to, they knew the sacrifice it was going to take from each one of them to give up shots, to give up different things. And they all were willing to do it. You know, I'm never sure if 3 is the right number or 2, you know, and I just say that because someone always has to take a sacrifice when you have the 3. And that has to be a special person. You know, I thought Ray was that guy for us. I mean, he had to sacrifice the most shots, the most touches, even the way he played. And I don't ever think he got enough credit for that. You know, I thought Bosh was the guy in Miami that had to change his game the most. And so a lot of times, you know, and Klay Thompson was the guy in Golden State, you know, so it's always somebody that didn't get as many shots. And I know where you're going, and I'm not going to answer that answer. So I don't know who it'll be.
Take last one's Jackson Frank. Go ahead, Jackson.
Hey, Doc, you know, you've talked a lot of times this year about how you want, how like kind of your philosophy around Joel and post up. You know, Ben's a guy who also runs a lot of post ups. I'm curious, some post ups. I'm curious, how, if at all, does the approach change with what he wants to do and how you kind of position guys off the ball to help him in the post?
Are you saying Joel or Ben or either?
Ben, excuse me.
Not much at all. I mean, Ben is, we want to post Ben as well. I don't think we've posted him enough, quite honestly. And there's nothing wrong with having a double post, a post on each side where you can go either way. I mean, the one great thing about having Joel as the other guy, you're not leaving him. You're not going to leave him to double someone. If someone drives, you're not going to leave his body. Joel's presence really helps everybody on the floor. And I think it particularly helps Ben when he's down on the post.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.